Hi, it's Stephanie Stevenson, otherwise known as Watercolor Artiste. I am the artist at midlifeartist.com, and happy Thanksgiving to everybody. Um, Tomorrow is the big turkey day, and I hope everyone has a chance to get together with someone that they know and love uh, tomorrow to celebrate a spirit of Thanksgiving. And if you don't, find a soup kitchen or a charity to volunteer at and be with others who are in need and have a spirit of giving. But welcome to my live stream. It's Wednesday night at live from Georgia. And I just want to thank you for coming. Hi, Nancy. Hi, Frosty. I wasn't sure if you guys would be able to join, given that it's the night before Thanksgiving. And anyone else joining and watching, welcome. Um, I'm going to try to finish this sucker tonight. This is it. I'm going to do this. I'm going to get their bodices done. And then any other touches, I'm going to get done, hopefully. I finished the fireman. You guys watched me build that up and paint over the last couple of Wednesdays and joined me on that journey. I'm excited to say that that's done. I signed off on it today. I just got to do the edging. I got to make sure the canvas edges are nice and finished. I got to let it dry and varnish it, and then it'll be ready to hang at that point. And before I get underway, I wanted to um, just remind everyone that tomorrow being Thanksgiving, a lot of the talk is always about food, and I'm no different. I'm not doing a lot of cooking tomorrow, but I am contributing between my mom-in-law and my sister-in-law. They've got the food covered. If I bring anything else, it's just overkill. So I noticed that no one had gravy listed, so I will be bringing gravy because, gravy on turkey, I mean, come on, right? Um, but I also decided I can apple pie filling, homemade. So I'm probably going to make some like apple tarts with pie crust and my homemade apple pie filling, and bring that with me tomorrow. So gravy and apple tarts is what I'll be bringing. What's everyone else doing? Anyone got cooking duty tomorrow? Anyone got, bringing stuff? You're not the main cook, but you're contributing. What you got going on? Um, and then also, in the spirit of thankfulness, having gratitude towards people in our lives, for things that we have, the blessings that we have. Yeah, I think it's very important, and not just on Thanksgiving or the week or the month of Thanksgiving, but year round, it's important to have an attitude of gratitude. Um, it does the heart good, and it does relationships good, and so I think it's important. So I'm thankful, one, that I'm painting after decades of being inactive and scared and hiding away. So I'm grateful for that. I'm grateful for my family, for my husband, for my friends, for my job. I have a daytime job, full time. It's what I do to bring in the bacon. Um, I try to do this as a side gig, and I do believe at some point that'll happen. I'm going to have faith in that it will it will pan out. I just have to be patient, diligent, and persistent. And with your help on Wednesdays and any other time, I think I'll make it there. So anyway, that's what I'm grateful for. I'm wondering if what you all are grateful for. So chime in when you feel like it. The other thing I want everyone to do is remember the two National Guardsmen that were killed tonight. Um, they were just doing their job to keep crime at bay, and they were targeted and killed. And so please remember them, their families, because they're not coming home for Thanksgiving. They're not going to their families. And that's a little heartbreaking. So we got to remember them as well. So say a prayer for those families and do that tomorrow when you're with your families, that you get that privilege. They were there to keep the peace so other families could have Thanksgiving together. So let's remember them. I don't know their names. I don't know if they've released them. I haven't been online all that much tonight, so I don't know. Welcome, Artisan. Good to see you two in the chat. Um, Talking about food, talking about being thankful, and like I said, I'm gonna be bringing apple tarts made with I do canning, so I got some homemade apple pie filling, so that should be good. But anyway, um, oh, the other thing is, um, I've had two people tell me that they want Christmas cards. So if you haven't yet told me in the messages, send me an email, send me a direct message. I'm working on, in the meantime, my Christmas card image. It's not done, but it's getting there. It's been fun doing that. I was listening to Christmas music while working on it last night, and that was fun. I'm going to try to finish it up this holiday weekend and hopefully get some Christmas cards out next week. That's aggressive and assertive, but so you've got time to get your snail mail in direct messaging if you want a card from me. Um, I'd be more than happy to send one. So yeah, fun time. So here we go. We've got my dancers. It's dry, so I can really paint over this and kind of get this nailed down. I'm going to start with the bodices, start with an easy win. Yeah, Artisan, send me a message on True Social. That's where everyone's sending their messages. Although the notifications, even though Lady Hamilton said to delete the app and then re-download it and all that stuff, I did that. It still won't send the notifications. So every day I check it once or twice, the private messaging section. So send that to me, and I will make sure you get one. So anyone in the chat, who's traveling tomorrow, or have you already traveled and um, you're now where you're supposed to be? I gotta make some orange. I already. Oh, I should probably move to.
Two.
There we
There
go.
we go.
I
I
have the
have the
palette
palette
cam,
cam,
everybody. I've
everybody.
got the
I've got the
palette cam.
palette cam.
I laid
I
out my
laid out my
paints
paints
before the
before the
live
live
stream,
stream.
and
And
so yeah,
so yeah, I've been working real hard
on
on
um, trying to get
trying to get
more
more
social
social
media
media
postings
postings
out,
out,
trying to get
trying to get
more of a
more of a
presence out
presence out
there.
there.
Um, I
I
think I
think I
talked a
talked
little
a
bit
little
about
bit
that
about
last
that last
week
week
because
because
obviously what
obviously
I've
what
been
I've been
doing for the
doing for the
past several
past several
months
months hasn't
really been
really
all
been
that
all that
effective.
effective.
And
And
so I
so I
am
am
working
working
on
on
trying to
trying
be
to be
more
more
effective with
effective with
my
my
social
social
media
media
and
and
what
what
have you.
have you.
Not
I'm
very
not
good
very
at
good
it.
at it. I'm
Art after
art after
50, right?
50, right?
So
So
palette
palette
cam,
cam,
woo,
woo,
palette
palette
cam.
cam.
Oh, I'm
Oh, I'm
sorry,
sorry,
honey. You
honey.
got
You got
um.
um.
Let
Let
me
me
make
make
sure.
sure.
You said
You
the
said the
echo is
echo is
bad,
bad,
honey.
honey.
Okay, I
Okay, I
just saw
just
those
saw those
messages.
messages.
Hold on a
Hold
minute.
on a minute.
I
I
think
think
the
the
echo
echo.
was coming from the mobile phone. How does that sound? Is my audio now not echo? Let me know. I'm watching the chat. Better. Okay. What happened, I think, was that I have my mic on, and then my mobile phone, which is my palette cam, is was had its microphone on for some reason. All right, I had to change it up from the mobile on OBS, I guess it is. I'm saying some stuff, Crazy Bear. Stuff. I'm saying stuff, 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 stuff. Does that help? Much better. Okay. Thank you. I'm sorry I wasn't seeing that messaging before. So I apologize for that. I apologize. I wish I had background music. I wish I knew what kind of music I could do in the background in a low volume without getting in trouble with, any kind of, strikes with YouTube or Rumble. You know what I mean? It'd be nice to know. Interesting. I'm wondering, desktop, mic, mobile, camcorder. I don't think camcorder has a mic on. My mobile is muted on OBS. Desktop is muted. Yeah, okay. Well, I'm not sure then. I don't know what else I can do to fix it. Let me try one other setting in this thing. Now what does it sound like? Does it sound better at all? I'm now going to wait to see what it says. Good enough. Okay, that's good because I don't know what else to do because I am not a pro at this. Okay, so I'm mixing some oranges because there's some oranges and brights that I've got to do here. And then I've got to do this. I got to look at my reference photo. Oh, and I said I was going to do the bodices first too, so I need to do that as well. I was telling Ron, my husband, that to get a nice, really funky green, you can use this cobalt teal with either lemon yellow or cadmium yellow and get some nice bright greens if you wanted to kind of get nuclear. It's hard to say that. Hard to say that. Because he was thinking about his painting and getting some bright, vivid colors. We were talking greens at the time. Trying to get this there's certain decor on the bodices right here that are a dark teal blue green kind of thing. So I'm trying to get that mixed as well. Should have had these mixed beforehand, but I was having trouble getting the palette cam to work for the longest. So and I got glare like I did last week. There we go. That's the color I'm looking for. So I mixed cobalt teal with some cadmium yellow to get green. And then I added some ultramarine blue until I got this nice, rich, dark greenish blue, which is what I'm going to use for their bodices. So I need a small brush, maybe that. I picked up some new brushes because the brushes that I have for small stuff were more for watercolor. They were more sable, than, so I picked these up. These are small rounds, round 1 and 2. And so we got that. And I need to get some medium. Well, I'll get medium if and when I'm ready to use it. So we're going to do the bodices. Can you guys see that okay? Maybe I should zoom that in a little bit. Let's see. Huh. Let me see. Okay, so the echo is gone now. It's not just better, it's gone. Oh, my my little camera thing is delayed. Let's see here. Not sure why. And I lost a brush. I am not having a good night all of a sudden. What happened to my brush? I heard it fall. Yeah. Okay. Yes, welcome to my my haphazard crazy night. Yeah, so my camera, my not webcam, but the camcorder, it's delayed in listening to me, so I'm just going to leave it alone for now. But I'm in. There we go. All right. I think I got it. I am having a rough night. Oh my gosh. Let me tell you, it felt like that, I have to say, uh, for the most part. But now that I've got my palette colors kind of mixed up here, I'm going to, I know I zoomed in on that area, but I wanted to do the bodices. All right, so maybe I'll do brush here. We'll do this bodice here. So up here and here. Now I need to get my little bar so I can hold my hand steady. I guess there's a word for this, a specific word for this kind of stick that you lean up against, the canvas to hold your arm steady or your hand steady. And I'm not going to get there, I don't think. Okay, let's try that. So right here, there's a little bit of just touching, getting that bodice kind of showing. You know what the word is for this stick. There's a word for it. I saw it in another art video. I'm like, there's a word for it. I'm like, all right. But now I can't remember. It was weird. And I'm sorry I'm not seeing the chat. Yes, this helps. The stick across the canvas will help hold your arm steady instead of you just kind of holding up your hand all on its own. So I am. And this actually does really help. Keeps your hand steady. So if you've never done that before, it actually is very helpful. You just have to be careful you don't lay across the wet paint. That's the whole idea. Mahl, is that what it's called? M-A-H-L? Okay. You know what I have? This one is plain. I'm going to show it across I'm going to show it across the palette cam here, and probably a little bit in front of the camcorder, but it's just a square balsa stock. So it's got flat edges. A lot of people use round. It's about a 1-inch square. So it's got the edges, yeah, 1 inch by 36 inches. And I lay the flat edge across the top or the side of the canvas. Yeah. All right, I'm going to try to define some of these dark areas in the frilly part of this dress as well. I think that'll help kind of show the layering. Let's see here. So I don't know if I saw it. I don't know if it went by before I had a chance to read it. But what about y'all Thanksgiving for tomorrow? Um, did you guys travel? Are you hosting? Are you cooking tomorrow? Who's got what duty? Or who's cleaning up? No one ever signs up for the cleanup, but it's a heck of a thing. Okay, so we got some nice darks here. So right here, right underneath. I'm getting a little bit bold here with some of this color. I think I do need some medium. And if you don't know, I use Galkid because it helps do a fast dry. Galkid. Let's see if it'll show up. Right there. This is our fastest drying medium. I use that to help me. It doesn't like to open, but I think I got it. Otherwise, I'm hauling my husband in here to help me. Yeah, you'll have to read that sideways. I'm not good at angling a label. Yeah, I'm doing pretty good with the setup I've got, even though it's not the most uh, professional or whatever. Um, okay, let's see if I can get this. But yeah, this dress has driven me crazy for long enough. So we're going to be we're going to make sure that this gets done tonight, or at least that's what I'm hoping. Best laid plans usually don't work out for me, but I'm not going to take that. I'm not going to be defeatist. Not at all. And down here, this has some of the same coloring and tonal value. And we're just going to get this sucker going. Nancy, you're just eating, but I always help with the cleaning. Very good, very good. Yes. Got to make sure I help with the cleaning tomorrow since I'm not doing a lot of cooking. Princess's parents with all her siblings. Are they also in Maine, Frosty? Oh, I almost lost that again. All right. Are you guys getting snow up there in Maine coming up? It seems like there's going to be a pretty hefty um, snowstorm or two that will be happening. And I don't miss that, by the way. I don't miss the snow. I don't miss it at all. Brunswick area of Maine, huh? Yeah, my adult sons are up in New Hampshire in different parts of the state. So I'm always paying attention to the weather up there. And sounds like it might be a sock it to you kind of storm system, or at least certainly where the lake effect snows are in New York State. Sounds like they'll be getting hammered as well. Let's see here. Here, there. I'm just trying to paint what I see here. Yes, yes. He sees me twitching. If I'm sitting on the couch or the recliner, he's looking over at me, and if he sees I'm twitching, he knows I'm PTSDing about the winters up there. I spent I spent my adult life in New England, and well, actually, pretty much most of my life in New England. Um, and the whole idea of dealing with heating and all of that, I just I was kind of done, kind of done. See, I'm getting right over to that foot area. Her foot. I'm losing it again. All right. So the foot needs to be defined as well. Get a little bit of a dark her foot. So this is the dark area of her pantalon. And that other foot kind of comes down here. You know, sometimes you paint so much on a painting because you're struggling with it, you get sick of it. And I'm telling you, I'm done with her foot. I'll tell you that right now. Done with her foot. I'm done with her leg. I'm done, I'm done, I'm done. And this is really dark back here. I'm laughing at Ron's comment about how he loved the snow for the first 2 years. And then after a while, he got sick of it too. All right. And then right here, And this is kind of blurred to the picture that I'm using, the reference picture. It is really in the foreground, really it has the same tonal value. It's a different color. It's a bluish, but it's the same tonal value. So that foot kind of gets obliterated with the foreground color. So this actually has to be darker here, right here. So yeah, I am trying real hard to get this right. Because I really want to be done with this. You you grew up in Ohio. You missed the snow, Artisan? I don't know. Here is a really dark area right behind the leg, the knee rather. I think it was the winter before we moved to Georgia where there was a snowstorm, literally, and I'm not joking, this is not figurative, but there was a snowstorm of appreciable inches every other day. Every other day. It was unreal how bad it was. And I remember I'm like, oh my gosh, this is awful. Absolutely awful. And that's why I'm like, yeah, I'm kind of done. So, yep. We were done. I think I need to hold it differently. I need to get it dark. Oh no, Stephanie. Clean your palette knife. Oops, sorry about that, y'all. There we go. Now I got it settled. That is not what I needed. I'm trying to do a deep purple now. Very deep. Eventually, I got to figure out better lighting that I'm working in because while you guys can see, the glare for me is pretty substantial, and I may even stand up a little bit here so I can see better. So I'm trying to get some of the darkest darks and some of the lightest lights, but I still also have to do some definition here. But maybe that's how I do it. I also have to get it here because this is lighter than it should be, I think. Let's see here. Oh, preserve. Let's see here. A little lighter. Negative 56-degree wind chill. Holy cow. Yeah, I remember those times when New Hampshire got that way. We got down to some pretty cold temperatures in Georgia, for Georgia, that is. Last year, I think it was. We had a week. We had a week um, where it was pretty cold. Like, I think the temperatures were in the 20s, but the wind chills had us in teens, if I'm not mistaken. And that was wicked cold. There's my New England coming out. Wicked, wicked cold. Artisan, are you in Texas now, or where are you at again? To be at 80 by lunch, that seems trying to get a lavender. Hmm. Yeah, South Texas coast. Gotcha. Gotcha. Really should be a blue here. Okay, I get a little bit of a blue. I have to say, that doesn't look much better to me. I don't know what's it going to take for me to do this. I have to tell you, it's getting discouraging with this dress. You know, I should have had Ron do a palette check for me on this. Probably would have helped me out a little bit, like he did for me last week on the fireman. Because the fireman turned out to be much darker than what I thought it should be. And it really helped me. And this are pantaloons. Pantaloons. Rocks and boulders. Boy, you are a glutton for punishment, Nancy. Painting rocks and boulders. I decided I didn't have to get too detailed with the rocks and boulders of the firemen so much. So I'm letting the viewer see the rocks and the boulders. They, you know, when a viewer looks at painting, their eyes automatically fill in, and I don't actually have to paint every detail. Of course, that's me. I that's just the way I handle it, I guess. You know, even though I got these small brushes, I can't. I guess I just don't have the patience that it takes to paint the smallest of details like you do. I am just not there, I guess. You know what I mean? There's that. Some really dark relief here. You got to paint Christmas. You're way behind. Oh yeah, the show's coming up, isn't it? I've got some Christmas stuff, but it's really just sketches. I'm working on the current Christmas image. Now, and I don't know. I don't know if I can get anything into her soon. I think I'm going to. I'm going to get some of this foreground, these darkest darks areas. in. Ron's got a painting he wants to do, but he has conveniently, uh, you know, with a true excuse, can't get to it right now because he's really finally making some headway with his project. He got the website um, down, in online. And now he's taking advantage of some Black Friday sales to get some convention type supplies. And so, yeah. All right. And then this has got to be dark. So I'm going to raise that up a little bit. Right here. This is actually very dark. Right on that reference picture. And we finally got those comics, the books in from that one printer that we were warned against, you know, but that was only after we had already placed the order. We finally got the books in uh, this week. There's just a lot going on in this dress. Unbelievable. I may have to finish this over the Thanksgiving holiday after I get Ron to do a palette check for me, because I have to say this is not easy. Let's see what we're doing here. All right. Let's see if I can back this out and switch it up a little bit. Wait for the camera to respond because I pressed the button and it doesn't want to back out. There it is. It backed out. All right. Let's see if I can move this over. I think what I'm going to do is take the palette camera and make it smaller. Just so that we can see bigger canvas. Okay. There we go. Get out of that. Oop. All right, so I'm going to work some of the bodice here. Yeah, this is still getting too much right now. Unbelievable how much trouble that's giving me. So I'm going to work on these bodices here. I'm going to try to get zoomed in on those. So you can see me work those a little closer. Let's see here. There we go. There we are. Now I'm going to look at my reference picture. Try to get this done. Now I got this color. And because this is dry, as long as my hand doesn't have stuff on it, well, just to be safe. I'm glad you like it. I'm not seeing it so good all of a sudden. I'm feeling a little less sure of myself when it comes to that stupid corner. I think I might have to try to work that this weekend without the pressure of a live stream, I guess. Maybe, you know what I mean? No camera, no odd angles. And I don't know. I don't know what I'm doing wrong, but it just isn't working out as right as I was hoping. You guys are very nice. Now this is just, but yeah, I definitely need music. I gotta figure that out. Maybe I'll figure that out over the holiday weekend. I'll look into maybe having some sort of really low background music so it's not just you know, silence when I'm breathing heavy trying to figure out what the heck I'm doing. I'm sure there's a way to have some sort of music that won't break the rules. And doing the bodice like that really brings it out. You know, gives it its I've got glasses artisan and I can't see up close without them. So uh, I don't know. This corner here is just, I don't know. It's not as well rendered as the rest of the painting, and I can't figure out for the life of me what I keep doing wrong. So I need to figure it out. need to figure it out. She has got there we go. And I've got stuff on her, but it doesn't seem as well defined. You can hear my thing here making a ruckus. Trying to just get some of these darker details. I know they're barely touching the canvas. Will you varnish? Yeah, I'm gonna varnish. Yeah, I varnish all my paintings, frosty, to protect them. For some reason, you can't really see that very well, but let's see here. All right, I'm gonna try to get down in this corner again. I know this doesn't seem like it's well rendered though. Before I move things again, I'm gonna see if I can this. There seems to be a little bit more color in the bodice here. And then I'm going to come in with a little bit of white to just Tone that down a hair. What I need is probably Kremnitz white. I'm going to blend like that. There, I think that reads a little better. That bodice, it's not just, it came across as very white on the camera. Not as white in person, but I want to make sure that it's amazing how much color white dresses could possibly have when you're up close and personal with them. Bringing in some of those whites again because I lost some of them, it looks like. Thank you, Nancy. Yeah, I, I, the only dress that I just can't seem to get right is that one in the corner that I've been struggling with all along. I think it's just the busyness of the dress, and I keep trying to capture busyness, and maybe I don't. Maybe I don't. Let's see here. We're gonna go back to that crazy, crazy dress. And I'm gonna get the camera looking. Because I really, really do need to figure this out. Oh, you know what? Works better when I can see what I'm working with here. There we go. That corner dress really just driving me crazy. Right there. There we go. Okay. Let's see here. There's just so much going on with that dress. I feel like I don't have a small enough brush to do it. But then again, if I get too small, I get too lost in the details. And it's like, what the heck am I doing? So yeah, not a complete white here. I know there's a bright, bright, bright white at her waist. It is very, very difficult not to get lost in these details. Really is. And I keep doing it. I keep doing it. Kind of a wonky coloring in here. So yeah, maybe what I'll do is I will get Ron to do a palette check for me on these areas. And so I'm seeing, maybe I'm not seeing some of this right. You know what I mean? There's such subtle contrast, not contrast, but color differences in this back leg too. It goes from this bright, bright orange to this lavender to, and then it's edged by this completely dark purple. And it's, unless you see the, and I know it doesn't make any sense if I bet you I'm seeing it lighter than it actually is. And that's probably what's happening to me, is that I'm seeing parts of this dress darker or lighter than it really is. And I'm getting all mucked up again. Dang it. I thought for sure I was going to nail this thing tonight. I don't think it's going to happen. That's not it. Yeah, that's too much. Too much stuff going on in here. I'm oh well. I'm just not sure what I need to do. The struggle is absolutely, absolutely real. Okay, show the reference picture again. Okay, I will. Give me just a second. Now I'll definitely do that. Definitely. You'll see how let's see. We're gonna see what the. That's not it. Okay, cancel. What's that one? That's not it either. Okay. Bear with me. I gotta get it. Image. Right. I think what I'll do is I'll get up close so you can see it. So you see all these ruffles, and you see this back leg right here? You see that back leg? You got the forward leg that's closest to the viewer, and then that distant leg, and the front of it is like glowing with orange, right? And the back leg, as it goes around the calf, ends up being this really purplish hue. That's the source picture right there. Did I miss Artives and did he leave? I hope he has a good Thanksgiving. Oh, I'm sorry I missed him. I think maybe I'm just using too big a brush. I've got some things kind of messed up. But that's the image. And let me just go back. See how bright I have it? Oh, okay. I thought they were saying I keep looking back at the chat, but I've missed a bunch. So, but you can see, and again, my camcorder does show my painting very, very light. It is not as light as the camcorder is showing. But you see, I've got choppy paintbrush strokes. They're too big. So I think what I need is to have Ron do a palette check for me. I'm obviously not seeing this correctly. So reference picture showing right now. And then now my painting. And you can see it's showing very, very bright, like it's washed out with bright color intermixed. It doesn't, standing in front of my painting, it's not that washed out. So, but you can still see the brush strokes are too big, too messy. And maybe I don't try to capture every single ruffle. You know what I mean? I don't know. But that's the reference picture. What a struggle. But I think what I'm going to have to do is have Ron do a palette check for me, and then I decide that I'm not trying to do every single rough light. I didn't think I was, but I apparently have too many brush strokes. It's just too noisy in that corner compared to the rest of the painting. And again, the camcorder is washing it out. So it's not that. Let me see if my palette cam will show you better. Oop, hello. All right. So this is palette cam. This is my camera. You see, it's not the same. Let me back it up. Trying to do both here. Okay, Stephanie. There we go. So, and that looks even a little darker on my little handheld phone camera. So you see the difference in how it looks. So each camera is different. But you see this, I wonder if I can tilt this. You see how noisy the brushwork is compared to the rest of the painting. And that just doesn't look right. I mean, it is the most movement, but it's still just not right. You see what I'm saying? Hey, Ron, screenshot some of the chat because the chat never saves. I want to save some of these suggestions so I can come back to this. Yeah. But yeah, her back leg has that strange bright thing, and then the back of her calf and the back leg, or the front, the one furthest away from the viewer, is not that dark, at least not to my eyes. And then her pantaloons, and then this is the edge of the dress flipping around. It is such a mess. Such a mess. But the rest of the painting looks, I'm very happy with. Very happy with the rest of the painting. If I could just get this corner right, I'd be so happy. Let me put this back up now. There we go. So you see what I mean? The back side of her upper leg is too narrow. It should be smoothed out in the purple gray color. Yeah, you're right. I'm definitely needing more work here. And I'm sure that it has to do with the fact I'm not seeing it right. I'm not going to give up. It's just taken me more time than I had hoped. Anyway, I'm at 9:20, so I'm not going to get too involved at this point. I'm going to move my cam. Let's see here. I am so, there we go. There we go. think that works. I'm not feeling very Wonder Womanish tonight. Don't touch it until you see it correctly. I agree. I agree. So I'm going to send the picture to Ron. He's my double check, and have him do a palette check on some of these areas that are just so tricky. And maybe he can help me with seeing it. It's amazing to me how difficult it is for me to see it and then get it on canvas. I had no idea that this was going to be so painful. I mean, I did and I didn't. I thought for sure I was going to have this knockered tonight. So, um, so yeah. But in any case, I am going to work on, I'm going to let that dry a little bit, obviously. But I am going to work on my Christmas. This is on Paul Rubens watercolor, 100% cotton, hot press watercolor paper. And this actually has some of that tinsel in it. So when I'm done, it'll have some tinsel. And so I'm going to get this done this weekend and then photographed, and then print them out on photo paper and apply to cards the old fashioned way. I don't want to order from a printing house and wait a couple weeks. Christmas will have come and gone by then. He does a palette check. I don't know. I think he walked away from his computer briefly. But what he does is I send him the picture that I'm working from, the source picture that I created that I'm working from. And then he loads it up on Adobe Photoshop and he takes the dropper button that is in Photoshop and he'll hover it over some of the colors and click. And then Adobe will read those colors and it'll provide the RGB or the CMYK numbering, and he'll do a little circle on the digital canvas, so to speak, of Adobe Photoshop, and show me what Adobe is registering that color as. And that's what he did with the fireman on the white banding of the fireman's um, uniform. And it came out like medium to dark gray. And it was, it's a white band, but because it's in such extreme shadow, because of the filtering I did when I created the source picture, that I had to use a dark gray, which is how I rendered the uh, the banding here is a dark gray, but it's white. Your mind knows that it's white, but this is actually a medium to dark gray on the canvas. And I can tell you, if I didn't have Ron do the palette check, that I would not have chosen a dark gray for that white banding. So, so yeah, that's kind of why I think maybe if I had him do some of the coloring in the underside and, some places where I'm getting it wrong and he can do circles on a digital palette that I can print up, I can then maybe come back at it and maybe try not to do little touches, because the little touches really make it busy and it doesn't harmonize, except for maybe over here. It might harmonize with the ruffling of their dresses. And even though this has a lot of ruffling down here, this is still too much. Although the style of dress that she has is not like the others, it actually does have a lot of ruffling according to the image, as you can see. So, so yeah. But thank you, Nancy. I'm pretty happy with the fireman. I decided I did some more abstraction in the right-hand side of the composition on that one, and I'm happy with it that I didn't have to add a plane or a helicopter or any other contrived compositional element. I think it works, and I'm happy with it. So I'm not going to tinker with it. That's one of the things I tend to do a lot, is tinker with something until I ruin it or take it too far and have to repaint like this. And I didn't think I had to do that with this one. So the firemen, I actually took some photographs today, and I'm going to check them out on my laptop and try to see if I take about 8 bazillion photographs of a painting with my Olympus camera. I've got an Olympus. I got an Olympus OMD with a zoom and wide angle. And so I take pictures with this of my paintings, and then I download it onto my laptop and try to make sure that I register. If I've taken one or two decent pictures, I'll either try to take it myself and make sure it's clear, not blurry in any section, and true to the colors that we see on the canvas in real life. And oftentimes I will tap Ron on the shoulder and ask him to do that for me in Adobe Photoshop, because he is just more of a pro at it. So he makes sure that the picture I take looks like the painting we see in real life. I'm not a photographer by any stretch of the imagination, but the Olympus is pretty good for what I need it for. It's what I took photos of my sister-in-law's wedding with, and she was pretty happy with it. So yeah. But here we are. It's about 9:30, so I don't want to keep you guys. I know it's the night before Thanksgiving. Remember to be thankful for the small things as well as the big things. Remember to pray for the families of the fallen today and tomorrow. Make sure that if there's somebody in your life you haven't talked to in a while, talk to them. We're not promised tomorrow. So be grateful for what we have. Let's remind people that we love them, that we care for them. Let's pray for those that are lost and their families. And, anyway, I don't want to start crying again like I did earlier. But thank you for joining me. I appreciate it. You guys have a wonderful, wonderful Thanksgiving. Um, don't eat too much. Easy to say, not easy to do. um, and have a good time with whomever you're gathering with, and enjoy the weekend. Do something fun, nothing stressful, and then next thing you know, it'll be Christmas. I will be doing another live stream next Wednesday. I'm going to work on this until I finish it off live stream, because next live stream I'm starting, and I will have either started a new canvas or I will be on that live stream. But yeah, I'm going to be starting in on the Nancy Wake painting, because I'm pretty sure I've got my compositional elements nailed down. I think the only thing I'm going to do, maybe, I'm depending on what I want to, how I want to take it. If I want the background to be more abstract with her as a realism, or if I want to do a overall canvas color in oil and then take a Q-tip and by subtraction draw in my composition to paint afterwards. So we'll see what's what. I'm gonna figure out which canvas I want to use, and get that going. So next Wednesday, I will be working on a new painting. Whether this one's done or not, this one's gonna get done behind the cameras now. I clearly need some assistance. So uh, happy Thanksgiving. I appreciate you guys coming. Have a good night.